Welcome to the lecture series on Indian economy. Today let us have a discussion on agriculture in India. So let us understand about Indian agriculture and its importance and economic growth. So in India, agriculture poses a threat as well as an opportunity for economic development. As you all aware of that, Indian agriculture depends on more on traditional nature of cultivation, and there is a more unemployment and illiteracy which exist in this agricultural sector, which is also a drawback of Indian economy. In Indian economy, we can see agriculture has become a main occupation for the rural sector, and it generates a very meager income to the people who are engaged in it. And in India, you can just observe that there is a rising of urban and rural, and there is a shift of people from rural area to urban area, and this has reduced the burden on agricultural sector. So today there is a much scope for Indian agriculture, and it throws away more of foreign investments, and more of foreign technology can be adopted, and we can have a mass cultivation in agriculture sector, and there is a possibility of looking ahead in agricultural sector. So there is a robust demand of a huge large population who are being derived from the rural area to the urban area for a demand for commodities and rise in income among the working people. While there is an external demand which is driving the increase in agricultural exports from India. So there is a huge demand for agricultural exports from. So when we talk about opportunities, demand for agricultural inputs and allied services like warehousing, cold storage, good hybrid seeds, fertilizers, pesticides will throw an increasing opportunity and abundant opportunity for FDIs to invest in these sectors. So in India, we have a lot of good policies framed by the government of India, where it helps the farmers to take up the agriculture as an occupation, and a lot of information is being transferred, updated to all the farmers, and they have been made economically, financially capable of handling this agricultural system. So here the policy supports are like Krishi Vikas Yojana, which helps in developing organic clusters, cultivation. You all know that from ages India adopted an organic form of culture of cultivation, where they used to use less pesticides and less chemical fertilizers. Only in the year 1960s, after the Green Revolution, our agricultural sector was been introduced with fertilizers, pesticides, and hybrid seeds. Overall, there was a need for high volume of agricultural produce in order to feed the increasing population. But now the scenario has changed. So we have a huge population, but still a sustained population where they are all engaged in work in different sectors. Now the burden on agriculture sector has been reduced comparatively when you compare from past 10 years. So the government of India is also aiming to double the farmers' income by 2022. And you can also observe that there is a competitive edge. The high proportion of agricultural land, diverse agroclimatic conditions encourage cultivation of different crops in our country. So you can also, one thing let us not forget, Indian agriculture poses a opportunity, and as though we find a lot of adverse and demerits, but still there is a positive scope for MNCs or FDI to invest, to have a venture in agricultural sector. So agriculture startups to be given in a key. It's a where more youngsters, the more companies, so more innovations to be brought in to have an agriculture startups. It's an emerging area where which can unleash umpteen opportunities for startups and strengthen the supply chain in Indian agriculture. So this was this was a statement given by Will Pole, managing partner of United Seeds Fund. Agriculture is the primary source of livelihood for about 58% of India's population. The gross value added by agriculture, forest and fishing is estimated at rupees 18.53 trillion dollars in the financial year 2018. The Indian food industry is poised for huge growth, increasing its contribution to world food trade every year due to its immense potential for value addition, particularly within the food processing industry. The Indian food and grocery market is the world's sixth largest market, with retail contributing 70% of the sales. Indian food processing industry accounts for 32% of the country's total food market, one of the largest industries in India, and is ranked fifth in terms of production, consumption, export, and expected growth. It contributes around 8.8% to 8.39% of gross value added in manufacturing and agriculture, respectively. 13% of India's exports comes from agricultural sector, and 6% of total industrial investment comes from agricultural investment. The 6% of total industrial investment comes through agricultural sector. So we ought to look forward of industries to be started up, where more of the agricultural goods produced to be used directly, and goods are to be produced, like from tilling to the tiller to the consumer. So there should be a supply chain management from farmer to the consumer, wherein direct, so we can have a good reduce the middlemen, and we can have direct contact with the farmers, and the farmers can be benefited with the demand and supply in the market. So where the farmer can easily assess the need and the demand prevailing in the market, as well as he can forecast, and accordingly he can produce the goods in agricultural sector. So now let us understand about the market size of Indian agricultural system. So during 2017 and 2018 crop year, if you look into it, the food grain production is estimated at a record of 284.83 million tons. In 2018 and 19, Government of India is targeted a food grain production of 285.2 million tons. The milk production was estimated at 165.4 million tons during financial year of 2017, while the meat production was estimated 7.4 million tons. As of September 2018, the total area sown with kharif crops in India reaches 105.78 million hectares. India stands as second largest food producer in the world. Production of horticulture crops is estimated at a record of 314.7 million metric tons in 2018 and 19, as per the third advance estimates. The total agricultural exports from India grew up at the CAGR of 16.45% over the financial year 2010-2018 to reach 38.21 billion US dollars in the financial year of 2018. So in the financial year of 2019, agricultural exports were 38.54 billion US dollars. India is the largest producer, consumer, and exporter of spice and spice products. Spice exports from India reaches 3.1 billion in 2017 and 18. Tea exports from India reached a 36-year high mark of 240.68 million kgs in the financial year of 2017. Well, the coffee exports reached a record of 3,95,000 tons in 2017 and 18. The food and grocery retail market in India was worth 380 US billion in the year 2017. So from this you can see the market size of Indian agricultural system. So India is at forefront in producing a lot of varied vegetables, crops, milk products, and it can be one of the largest hub for future agricultural sector. All those multinational companies or the FDIs or more can invest in agriculture sector to look ahead of growth in this sector. The government has consistently looking forward for collaborations with collaborators from all other parts of the world where we can update our technology and upgrade and provide the sufficient and necessary equipments and the products, technology and the process to our farmers wherein they can produce more goods and commodities with less input and where we can have an optimum yield in agricultural market. So this can also lead not only the creation of employment in agriculture sector but also it can boost the other sectors like agricultural sector, service sector and infrastructure development in our country where in converting this rural area into a semi urban areas where we can expect the more growth in these rural sectors. Now let us look into the investment part. So what are those forums and plans of the government to take care of this investment? According to the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade (DPIIT) and the Indian food processing industries has cumulatively attracted foreign direct investment equity inflow of about 9.08 billion US dollars between April 2000 to March 2019, which is seems to be the very less compared to all the sectors. So past 20 years, so the investment inflow of FDI is too low comparatively to other countries. Some major investments and developments in agriculture are as follows. Investments worth rupees 8,500 crore, that is 1.19 billion US dollars, have been announced in India for ethanol production, which is one of the source, primary source of which from our agricultural produce, which can be used as an alternative biofuel for coming years. By early 2019, India will start exporting sugar to China. The first mega food park in Rajasthan was inaugurated in 2000, March 2018. So it was one of the biggest, largest event relating to agricultural sector. So where the food park has been established to promote a lot of investors, promoters, collaborators to join their hands and start up and utilize this mega food park in Rajasthan. The agri-food startups in India received funding of rupees 1.66 billion US dollars between 2013 to 17 and almost 600 the deals were happened in this regard. In 2017, agricultural sector in India witnessed 18 memorandums and association deals worth of 251 million US dollars. So now let us look into this government initiative in agricultural sector. Some of the recent major government initiatives in these sectors are like the Prime Minister of India has launched a kickstart, a pilot project, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. It is shortly called as PM Kisan, and transferred 2021 crore, that is 284.48 million US dollars to the bank account of more than 10 million beneficiaries on Feb 24, 2019. So this is an initiative of giving aid to those farmers who are actively participating in agriculture sector, and they are immensely contributing for the total output of a country. The government of India has come out with the Transport and Marketing Assistance, that is the TMA scheme, to provide financial assistance for transport and marketing of agriculture products in order to boost agriculture exports. The agriculture export policy of 2018 was approved by Government of India in the year December 2018. The new policy aims to increase India's agricultural exports to 60 billion US dollars. By 2022, 100 billion US dollars in the next few years with a stable trade policy regime would expect of a huge investment into Indian agricultural sector. In September 2018, the Government of India announced of a procurement policy named Pradhan Mantri Annadata A Sanrakshan Abhiyan, PM ASHA. What is this policy about, which provides a compensation to the farmers? It's a scheme of where it provides a compensation to the private agencies along with the farmers to ensure fair prices of farmers in the country. So almost 15,053 crores amount is being invested into this project. In September 2018, the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs CCEA approved of rupees 5,500 crores, that is 820.41 million US dollars, an assistance package for sugar industry in India. The Government of India is going to provide 2,000 crores for computerization of primary agricultural credit society to ensure cooperatives are benefited through digital technology. With an aim to boost innovation and entrepreneurship in agricultural sector, the Government of India has introduced a new Agri Udaan program to mentor startups and to enable them to connect with potential investors. The Government of India has launched the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana with an investment of 50,000 crores, that is 7.7 billion US dollars, aimed at development of irrigation sources for providing a permanent solution from drought. The Government of India plans to triple the capacity of food processing sector in India from the current 10% of agriculture produce, and has also committed rupees 6,000 crores as an investments for mega food parks in the country. as a part of scheme for agro-marine processing and development of agro-processing clusters. So it's an initiative taken by the government in order to help assist the parks, the mini food parks, the mega food parks in the country. As a part of this, if more and more mega food parks are introduced, more FDIs, more collaborators, multinational companies to come and join the hands. Without the food grains or food produce commodities, there are only less industries which operate on other natural resources. So we can just observe the agriculture sector is the major feeder to all those industries. More than 40 to 50% of industries are agri-based, which are located in India. The government of India has allowed 100% FDI in marketing of food products and food product e-commerce under automatic route. Let us look into the achievements in this agricultural sector. Sugar production in India has reached 27.35 million tons in the year 2018 and 19 in the sugar season. As of March 15, 2019, according to the Indian Sugar Mill Association. So we are going to be one of the largest sugar exporters in the world. The Electronic National Agricultural Market (ENAM) was launched in April 2016 to create a unified national market for agricultural commodities by networking existing APMCs. Up to May 2018, 9.8 million farmers, 1,09,725 traders were registered on the ENAM platform. 585 mandis in India have been linked with 415 additional mandis will be linked in 2018-19 and in the coming 2019 and 20. Agriculture shortage capacity in India increased at 4% according to CAGR report. Between 2014-17 to reach 131.8 million metric tons. Coffee exports reached a record of 3,95,000 tons in 2017 and 18. Between 2014 and 18, 10,000 clusters were approved under Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, shortly called as PKVY. Between 2014 to 15 and 17 to 18, the upswing in up to December 2017, capacity of India's production was 2.3 million metric tons was added in godowns, while steel silos with the capacities of 6,25,000 were also created during the same period. Over 100 million soil health cards have been distributed in the country during the year 2015-17, and the Soil Health mobile app has been launched to help the Indian farmers. So the road ahead for agricultural system or the Indian agricultural system has a wide scope of in future to dominate the whole world in producing organic food, which is the need of the all developed countries. India is expected to achieve the ambitious goal of doubling the farm income by 2022. The agriculture sector in India is expected to generate better momentum in the next few years due to increased investment in agricultural infrastructure such as irrigation facilities, warehousing, or cold storage. Furthermore, the growing use of genetically modified crop will likely improve the yield of Indian farmers. India is expected to be self-sufficient in pulses in the coming few years due to concentrated effort of scientists to get early maturing varieties of pulses. And the increase in mining minimum support prices in all various mandis and the village to the village panchayat level where the farmer should not be exploited to the situation. The government of India targets to increase the average income of a farmer household at current prices to rupees 2,19,724. It is 3,420.21 US dollars by 2022 to 23. Going forward, the adoption of food safety and quality assurance mechanisms such as total quality management, including ISO 9000, ISO 22000, hazard analysis and critical control points, HACCP, good manufacturing practices and good hygienic practices by the food processing industry will offer several benefits. So we have taken the references for the small PPT is from Agriculture and Processed Food Products Exports Development Authority, APEDA, Department of Commerce and Industry, Union Budget year 2018 and 19, Press Information Bureau, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, the press releases, media reports, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, CRISL, etc. Thank you.